Now I'll put you through to Connor L, who is one of the longest standing DJs with Bodytonic. He's going to talk a little bit about how music has changed with the introduction of digital music and how digital downloads affects DJs and the way music is bought over the internet, and how certain formats of music are disappearing gradually. For example, vinyl and CD are becoming a lot less prevalent in record sales, and digital downloads are really becoming the future. So, Connor.
Thanks, Steve. Just as Mike mentioned, like with Bodytonic, we've been running 4 years, and aside from the various changes in house music, the scene and all that that's happened, technology's developed an awful lot in those 4 years. Like when I started DJing for the guys that time ago, it would have been a case of coming in with a flight case or a bag full of vinyl and then struggling to carry home when you're pissed at the end of the night, like, you know, having a bad back then for the week afterwards. And part of the reason why it's developed is that people like Pioneer have just developed technology so that the functionality of vinyl is still there, but you don't have the weight or the trouble. And also, with sites like Beatbook coming along, accessibility of music has expanded. You don't have to go down to your local record shop and, you know, have recommended the same 20 house records that everyone else is getting. But at the same time, that's putting a challenge on DJs that they have to go and dig deeper and find better music and be more individual, because you can go on to Beatport or ClickGroove or any of these download sites and there'll be about 200 new releases a week. So you've got to be more individual, you've got to dig deeper, you've got to search harder to find better records that no one else is playing. And in addition to that, like, you've got programs like Serato, which enables them to bring a laptop to their entire music collection, have simply 2 vinyls and plays that you're playing on records. And like, you'll just find with the way things have developed, there's very, very few DJs who rely on vinyl nowadays. Like, personally speaking, I prefer playing vinyl, but it's just not a viable option for me between costs and getting the music, you know, as fast as I possibly can to expose people to it in clubs and playing. And I just find most of the big DJs, they don't use it either. They use Serato, they use a bit of vinyl for older records, and they use CDs as well. And it's the way things are going that maybe CDs are going to be obsolete next time we do this, maybe next year or next few years. They'll be heading the way out, and there'll be stuff like maybe a deck that'll read an iPod, and you can just plug your iPod in and play off that. But that's all the future anyway. That said, vinyl isn't dead, and, you know, our Scribble releases have been selling very well, like, you know, into 4 figures, like, and that's on vinyl because mainly people who buy that would be into the feel of it and turntables and that sort of thing. In addition to that, if you're getting older records like old disco, soul and funk, you're not going to get that on MP3 site, and you're going to have to go and buy the original pressings, otherwise you can't get the music full stop. And so there always will be a market for vinyl, but with the way technology is going, it's becoming less and less prevalent in clubs. And it's becoming easier and easier to bring more and more music to a gig and expose people to more and more songs, have more and more choice to DJ, to be more and more, I don't know, spontaneous, rather than be confined to like having 50 records to pick from. You can have maybe 1,000 songs to pick from in a gig. You can do everything completely on the fly.
Okay, thanks, Connor.